welcome back to the Backyard Professor Chess videos. I have taken enough of a vacation, man. My wife said, get your lazy butt down there in the basement and do some more chess videos. So here I am. Great to be back. Thank you so much for all of your thoughts, prayers, and concerns and nice words. It means more to me and my wife than you will ever grasp, so I appreciate it. However, it's time to get this shipwreck of a video channel back on course, so man up, you swabbies. We're going to do a chess video. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This really interesting game, because I like interesting chess games, you know me. I'm serious. And that's rare because I'm never serious. Seriously. Yeah. This is from Reuben Fine's edited book, The World's Great Chess Games. It was published originally in 1951 before I was a Twinkie in my mama's eye. And then it was updated in 1976. And his brief idea, his brief biographical note on John Grefe. Now I'm pronouncing it Grefe. Kind of makes a cool pun in the title of the video, right? Good grief, yeah. It might be pronounced Grefe, I don't know, or Grefe. He was one of the biggest upsets in American chess in 1973 when he won the U.S. Championship. And he's a young California master. He took first prize while he was not yet followed suitably up on his success, he says. His future still looks good. Now, I haven't heard a thing about this guy since then, so I don't know. Oh, hey. Yeah, my light's on. Boy, it looks dark in the camera. Is that dark in the camera? That might be a benefit. You don't have to look at my ugly mug. Yeah, it's light enough, I think. I don't know. Man, that's weird. Does that help? Chess professional here. Yeah, whatever. Shut up and show us the game, cowboy. Anyway, this game truly is one of the most outstanding games in this entire... I know what the problem is. You gotta have light on the subject. Did that help or hinder? Oh, for the love of Sam Walton. I can take his name in vain. I used to work for him at Sam's Club. Anyway, let's get on with the chess game, shall we? I'm going to show you also all of the variations and the ideas in this game, during the game, that Reuben Fine shows, because one, they are really good, and two, because I need to get back into studying chess. I sucked before, but now I really suck to the squared. And that's okay, because we're all learning and we're all having fun. Also, let me apologize to my chess club, the Backyard Professor Chess Club on Leeches. I unfortunately had to drop out of the chess tournament, and I was doing decent too. I was at least in the top 10 at that point, but I'm not sure if it's even over yet. It's been going on now. They've been raging and fighting and arguing, and no, I'm kidding. We're having a good time in the club. We're all good friends learning chess. So, okay, let's get going here. For the love of Sam Walton, man. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, I mean, welcome back to Amateur Hour. I left my black coordinates up when it should be the white coordinates, so no wonder it looks so goofy. Kind of like the Backyard Professor dude that's putting on these silly videos. Yeah, baby. We believe in looking goofy. We believe in being goofy. We believe in playing goofy chess. Oh, no, wait. No, we have to be serious. Janet Dim, I'm a chess player. I'm not serious, man. Okay, let's get going here. Grefe is the white. E4. A typical opening, C5. The Sicilian defense. So pay attention, because this is a really cool win against the Sicilian defense. And this is Walter Browne he's playing. Now, Walter Browne was one of the strongest American chess players also. So this is a great contest against a surprise John Grefe beating a stalwart Walter Browne, which was really It electrified people when he won this. And now he comes up to d4. Boom! Hits the center, attacks that lowly pawn. That pawn is toast. Toast, I tell you. Well, not before he takes the pawn. Aha! So he gets his licks in, but then the knight takes the pawn. See, the cool thing is, like What's-His-Nose said in What's-Its-Name's movie, focus, 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 focus. You gotta focus, you gotta focus. Yeah, that was, What's-His-Head? The 12 Monkeys, James Taylor. No, that's the singer. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to focus on this game. Brad Pitt. Yeah, you know, Brad Pitt. He made a great wacko in that movie, The 12 Monkeys. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite scenes. Okay, so the knight retakes, and now Browne continues bringing out his knight, of course, and Grefe brings up his knight, and Walter Browne goes to here. So you can see that both of these knights are potentially, it's a potential, they can get to this square, and Browne shuts that down. He says, nope, not going to let you do that. So he says, okay, well then I will do this. Bishop to g5, and now Browne, a small but a compact center opening here in the Sicilian. Not a bad opening, not as aggressive, but it's solid. So no problems yet, and he's bumping right up. He's going to take command of this game is his idea. And now, on this move, there is nothing wrong with making him decide what are you going to do with your bishop. However, because of the type of defense and setup that Browne did as the black pieces, this move was a waste of time. And we'll see why here just shortly. Well, I mean, throughout the course of the game. For all intents and purposes, because of the way Browne played against Grefe, that gave Grefe an extra move. And in chess, that's all it takes. Give your opponent one extra move and game's over. Now, the game's not over. However, he gets into difficulty quick. Bishop e7. See, he should have just done the bishop e7 without worrying about the pawn. So anyway, queen to f3. Now, steady, systematic development. And Fine makes a big deal about this because it ended up being the big deal. It really did. Steady development. Nice, okay, so he brings his knight out, and now he'll castle queenside, which gives him the d file. Not open yet, but, well, I mean, technically his pawn's not there, so it gives him an attack file. And queen comes to c7. The rule, the idea, if you can in your chess games, the idea is anytime you can put a rook across from a queen or a king, man, if you can do so without losing tempi or getting into too much trouble, down the road eventually that can prove very useful. Browne knows this, and so he immediately takes his queen off the 5. Says, I don't even want to play that game. Yes, there's pieces in between the rook and the queen. No, I don't even care about that. I'm going to get my queen out of the way. Just as a side note. Now, Grefe plays something subtle. And this will be the first variation I show you in this game. Bishop to e2, and you say, oh, come on. There's nothing subtle about that. Well, I said that, but you guys can already see the subtlety, right? Of course you can. Oh, man. Oh, that light is just torturing my... I'm sorry. The light's torturing my chessboard, isn't it? Where is that glare coming from? From that? No, it's from that one. Oh, for the love of Sam Walton. Well, just bear with it. I'll put all this together eventually. I've had a heck of a summer. I'm just trying to get back into this, okay? So, there is a subtle point here that Grefe is making with this development of the bishop. And what is it? Because the normal... Now if Browne proceeds in the Sicilian with the normal moves, for instance, here's the variation. If he does go ahead and proceed normally, now Grefe can push that pawn. And what this will do is it gives a chance for Browne to continue on this way, but then he takes the knight. Now watch how carefully this works. Bishop will take the queen. Yeah. And bishop will take the bishop. And bishop will take the pawn. Bishop will take f6. Well, I hope I get this right. Rook will go to c8 because the bishop is threatening the rook. So he can't take the bishop. He has to move his rook or he'll lose the exchange. And now the bishop will take f6. Oh, I blew it already. Dadgummit. No, I didn't. And then bishop. Boy, I knew I'd blow it. Anyway, the point is, with that subtlety, I blew the variation. I'm rusty, you know. Just work with me, will you? For Pete's sake, criticize me in the comments. I'll laugh at them. White would have got 3 of black's pieces for the queen, but the real issue is it was going to end up like this. I don't know where I missed. Bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, bishop takes f6, rook c8. The point is black is not well developed, right? And white is better developed with a lot more power in that variation. I probably blew the variation. Yeehaw! Welcome to the Backyard Professor Chess Videos Amateur Hour, where I flub up, but you still learn. Hopefully not to quit watching. Hang on, and I will get back to the regular chess game, and I'll be right back. Don't go away, for Pete's sake. There's more yet fun to come. Okay, so we are back at the point. Boy, look at that queen glow. That's probably driving you guys nuts. I'm sorry. I'll figure out this lighting. I don't know what the heck. I don't know what I've done wrong to get that light to do that. But anyway, the queen's going to glow. She's the star of the show. Bishop e2 presents a subtlety. And what he does now is he goes to rook b8. So Browne recognized the subtlety, and he said, I'm not going to do this at this point. And now he moves the queen to g3, and now we start getting sticky. Things start getting very interesting here, because of course he's hitting the pawn. Now black can't castle, right? You see the effect of that, because had he castled, now the comment here is from here. Had he castled, then he's got some sacrifices he can do on the king side. So he doesn't want to castle. There's too much power pointing this direction. That's the general idea here. Black is poorly coordinated, and yet it's hard to get at him, but here's where white comes up with a brilliant plan. And this is really kind of cool how he does this. He says, first of all, I'm going to put my other rook into this game. Now, it's true he has the file, the central file. He's not using it at this point, but he says, look, and no, it's not an open file, but it's a power point toward the king with that file. So he's setting up his future attack here. And this gets real interesting because now Browne pushes the pawn to block off the bishop and the queen from getting crisscrossing attack at this point, and he simply takes the pawn. He says, okay, good. I'm game for this. I'm game for this. Now, watch. This is interesting. Browne knew positional chess really well. Now, true, his knight is threatened. But instead of reacting to Grefe with the threat, instead of moving the knight away, he centralizes a very good knight. Now that is real interesting chess. In the face of losing a piece, he goes ahead and sticks the knight in the center. That knight is very powerful. Yeah. So, rather than going headhunting at this point, because Grefe is also playing a positional chess game, he recognizes that the central knight here is extremely strong. And he said, I am not going to let that stand. Yes, he can take a knight. So what? He doesn't want to take that knight right now. No, he wants to get rid of the more powerful knight, or at least challenge it. Yeah? And now he moves the typical, and this is typical, you're going to push on the queen side to open that up, and he will swap the knight. Absolutely. Knight takes e5. Get rid of the central knight without question. And now he goes ahead. Browne proceeds to march up the queen side to attack. Yeah? And now White has a brilliant attack. And what really makes this so very interesting is because it is so unexpected. It is one of those, oh, a shocking, startling move. Grefe proceeds with his attack in a most interesting manner. The knight takes the pawn. Now let's watch how this unfolds. This is quite interesting. Now, Grefe does supposedly sacrifice the knight. You notice, not only has Browne been ignoring the threats, but when Browne made his threat, Grefe did not worry about it. He carried on with the proceeding attack. He proceeded to carry on the attack, is how I should put this. Very cool and interesting, because now, instead of this attack, instead of taking the knight, and you're saying, okay, yeah, he proceeded with the attack, but look, the king can simply take the knight, right? If he would have done that, then the pawn taking the knight wins. And you go, what? Wait a minute. No, no, no. If you do that, the rook will take the queen. Yes, but then the pawn will then take the bishop with a discovered check. And the bishop is protecting the pawn, so the pawn is going to get in, or else he's going to pin that king down, and then he's got a heck of an attack coming on. He actually wins the game. So, that's subtle. You say, well, okay, wait a minute now. Okay, so the king can't take the knight. However, what if... Oh, yeah. No, that was the variation with the rook, with the pawn taken and the rook taking the queen, is then the pawn proceeds to get another piece and put the king in discovered check. Gaining 2 pieces, he loses the queen, but he's got the winning attack. So, the king cannot take that knight. That's why. So, Browne proceeded to do what he could do as best he could in this position, and he took the knight. And now, Grefe takes the knight. And now, that sacrifices the queen, see? So the queen is lost, and you say, take the rook! Take the rook! No. No. Take the bishop, is what Grefe did. And at this point, black is in trouble. Yeah, now he realizes, oh crap. So he bumps his rook back to g5. The pawn is too strong there. He has to block the influence of the bishop so that that pawn does not play a role in this game. And so regardless, whether he loses the rook here or here, he loses the rook. So the bishop takes the rook, and then of course the pawn will take the bishop. And now the little pawn is not nearly so strong here, the passed pawn in the middle of the game, except for one problem. And here is the problem. Knight takes d6 check. And it is here that Browne resigned. And you go, really? He didn't just take the pawn? I mean, the pawn was the piece causing the problems in the first place. Why didn't he just take the pawn? He could. Let me make sure I got this variation. I'm really screwing up on variations. But then the rook comes to f7. Yeah, and now white can win however he wants to win. It's virtually over from here on out. So that was a real surprise that he was a good California chess master, Grefe was. But Browne by this time was established as absolutely being totally solid. And Grefe took the championship away from him, which was really a shock in the United States chess world in 1973. I was, let's see, in 73 I was 12 years old. I think I was in, I think I was in 4th grade or 5th grade, something like that. So I don't remember this game because back then I wasn't playing chess. Dang it, look at how much stuff I missed. So, there is your first chess game in almost 2 months. I apologize for the absence. I'm going to try to produce as many chess videos as I can, but like I say, I have an interesting health struggle. It's uphill for the next, well, at least in my family, I should say, not me personally, but we've got some work to do with some chemotherapy and some lots of doctor stuff. So I will try to get more chess videos to you. Thank you for all of your friendship and your love and your kindness and your prayers and your thoughts. They worked. I'm back. So I'm going to try to do this once a week. I will try my golly gosh darndest. If I have extra spare time, I will do as many of these on a weekend as I can. So the week of Labor Day, that's the first week of September, I may very well be able to produce quite a few videos. So we'll see, we'll see. In the meantime, remember, I'm too old to remember what I was going to say, so don't forget what I did, just remember it. Oh yeah, be good, do well, have fun, work hard, play well. Remember, life is about enjoying yourself, live in the moment. The past is gone, it's over, and the future hasn't arrived. As one of my favorite philosophers says, Alan Watts, the moment, right here, right now, that's what's real. So let's live in the moment and enjoy our lives. So there's your chess video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next Backyard Professor Chess video.